Thank you once again for joining me to talk all things vertical drama on YouTube. I'm really happy because I'm joined by two very lovely people who are stars of a wonderful new show that has just come out on Vigloo called Mile High on Cloud 9. And they are Hannah Lowery and Kiki Frags. And I'm going to ask each of them to just give a little bit of an introduction of themselves to you.
Okay, well, hello. I'm Hannah. I'm an actress. I live in LA and I've been doing this for, wow, I think it's been like 5 years now. But these verticals have been like my everyday for the past year, and it's been so incredible. And I'm so excited to be here with Jen and Kiki doing our little interview and talking about the show. I'm actually so excited and proud of this one. So I really can't wait for you guys all to see it.
Hannah, thank you for starting off this one with us. And I missed the heck out of you, by the way. I know it's been 2 or 3 months since we've filmed this project, but thanks to Vigloo, we'll be coming out, I think, in the next couple of days. But in the meantime, again, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kiki Frags. I have been in the vertical realm for about a year and a half or so. Just calling it even year. And it's been nothing but fun. I'm truly grateful for all the opportunities that I've had. They're pretty much all I'm doing right now. So the vertical space is something that's continually changing, continually growing. And thanks to the wonderful people such as Jen and Hannah, I hope to continue to keep down this track for as long as we can.
So my first question is, obviously you've both been working in verticals for well over a year. And we know that often people can cross over. Had you worked together before, or is this the first time that you're on a project together?
We have not worked together before. It's actually first project together, which I was kind of surprised because I feel like Kiki's one of the vert male stars, and I haven't worked with him yet. So I was like, oh, okay. I finally our time has come. I remember we did a chemistry read. I felt like it went amazing. And then yeah, we met and did our thing.
Awesome. So my next question is, and we'll start with you, Hannah, and then you, Kiki. How was this project pitched to you? Kind of what were you told and what appealed to you about it?
This project, well, actually, the director, G, she worked on another project of mine called The Devil's Bride, and she was actually doing BTS photography, and me and her barely even got to speak. And I remember she reached out like a month later and said she just loved my presence, thought I was perfect for this role. And I was shocked because we barely even got to speak. It was such a rushed project. And then we ended up uh being in contact, and then I did the chemistry read, obviously. And I already did a pilot one. So I was like, oh, interesting. This is like a new trend going on. Um yeah, I honestly really liked the story and I thought it was cute.
What about you, Kiki? Kind of what were you told and what appealed to you about the story?
Yeah, so this one's an interesting one because, as Hannah was saying, there was a chemistry read that was involved in this whole process, and it's interesting because Hannah was the first person that read with me, and she did such a good job that um, I knew kind of right off the rip that you know anyone after it just didn't feel like they were necessarily the correct fit as good of a job as Hannah did. So kudos to her for really starting off the chem read on a really good note. And what they told me was, to get more involved in the project, um, was that they were looking for somebody who looks like, oddly enough, Superman. And, take that for what you want. Uh, I don't know if today I'm feeling like Superman, but I really appreciated their comparison at the time. So, yeah, that's kind of how it all happened, but just kind of a loose tidbit of information.
And so, Hannah, you mentioned you've done a pilot one. Kiki, you hadn't done anything anywhere near a plane, had you? So it's a new genre for you as such.
Nope, very new.
So once you're both attached to the project, one of the things I really liked, having just watched it, is the word melodrama kind of came to my head, and also that I felt it could be set in any period. It felt quite timeless. Is it two just really damaged people struggling to be together? And I felt that both of you got quite a lot more just like acting and with your characters to do. How would you describe, I guess, your character, each of you, and kind of what were the biggest things they had to overcome to find their joy?
Hmm. I would say Nevaeh's a very emotional girl, like myself. But she obviously went through like so much bullying when she was younger and so much torture from Giselle. And I think having that come back in her adult life really like triggered her childhood and all of that trauma and all of that. So I think her having to like get over that bridge of not caring what Giselle thinks while Giselle is also attached to Liam, which is a whole problem because Liam is my lover. So it's like it's so hard to, you know, have him and that push and pull in that relationship because I left him for a reason and then it's like but I still like yearn for his love and yearn for him. But at the same time, I'm like, no, this is wrong. And I'm very insecure and triggered by my past. So I think she's a very like complex, emotional character, which I feel like most characters I play are, but this one especially like had a specific thing that really triggered her, which helped me like act it out and help me really get into the character because it's a specific trauma and not just an emotional character. It's like a specific trigger that really brought that emotion out of her. But yeah, I think that Nevaeh, she's strong deep down with herself, but all these things really mess with her. And she wants Liam, but it's like, oh, should she? Should she not? She ran away for a reason.
Just to say, you are amazing in it as well. That was really, really good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So yeah, and I also want to say the same to you, Kiki, as well, because I think the other thing is it's quite interesting because we know early on that Nevaeh's got that trauma, but we don't know for quite a while what's going on with Liam until you have that amazing scene in the airport. And I like the whole thing where you reveal about the scared of heights. That scene is extraordinary. I mean, it's extraordinary. It's so powerful. And the fact that like the only way I could get over this was to do something that hurt more. I mean, so many people are going to resonate with that. I mean, I just want to say that scene's extraordinary. It's so good.
And the craziest thing was that was I think the first day we filmed. I had no idea who the character was yet. I didn't understand the dance that Nevaeh and Liam were gonna have. None of it was established yet. I had only met Hannah in person for I think a day or so. So it was everything was so new and yeah, it's interesting because he hates flying, he hates heights, and he's just doing it. Part of him just feel like he likes the pain. I mean, that's why he's chasing the girl of his dreams over and over again. How many chances did he give this girl? And he keeps on wanting to come back. It's very sad, and I think he part of it thinks he deserves it in some way, shape, or form, and that's why he puts himself up in these situations.
And how is it for both of you acting that? Because it's, I mean, both of you, pretty much most of your scenes are very emotionally intense. Kind of how draining is that? Because for both of you, just trying to keep that level going all the way through.
I will comment real quickly. It would be crazy. You just hear G director yell cut, and Hannah would like wipe away whatever tear or whatever snot that not actually snot. She's a pretty crier.
Yeah.
But all the all the tears and sadness, and just immediately there'd be a smile underneath every single time. Uh, Her ability to kind of just snap in and out of it was something to note. Still impresses me to this day thinking about it. Yeah, like she'd be full blown tears and again wipe it all away like it didn't happen.
That is true. I don't know what it is, but like somehow, well, when I'm like in it and I'm like bawling my eyes out, and then we cut, like me and Kiki also just like had such a great time on set. Like we became close like so instantly that I would just be like, "All right, next take, go." Also, G, our director, was the most incredible reacting
Incredible.
person I've ever seen. Like after every take, she would be like, she would have this like high pitch, like like she was in love type of tone of voice, and it would just make us so happy. So even if I'm crying, if I'm screaming, if I'm mad, no matter the situation, if we cut and she was like, then I was like, you just made me so happy with
That,
that note.
that That's
Who
so
knew?
true.
And then it also means then that when you've got some comedy moments, that I think they're even funnier because of the contrast. So there's that great moment where you and I can't remember his character's name, but Tate Doppler come to blows. And then there's a brilliant cutaway with you just sat there, Hannah, with like the Coke can and the bandage. That's just so funny. Was that quite
Uh,
fun to have a little punch up the Tate?
oh,
Oh,
Cameron.
what a
Uh,
character.
yeah, what a character. So Tate played the incredibly wealthy and illustrious, I believe, CEO Cameron. I can't remember his last name, but he played this character incredibly well, so well that he got under my character's skin several times. And in one case, you're describing a scene where we're just having a absolute field day right outside security checkout or check a security checkpoint in the airport. So and it's there. It's a whole party. And it was great going to blows to them. I love that kid. And, shoot, wish we got to do a second one with them.
So just actually asking about the filming then. So did you actually have where did you actually film the airport scenes in an airport?
Not a real airport. It was a set, but the coolest thing I found out on that set was that they shot Wolf of Wall Street on that set, in the airplane scenes, and that like was such incredible news to me because that's like one of my favorite movies. But yeah, we shot at it was like a fake airport set, but it was really cool. It had like the whole like airport security part, and then it had a bunch of planes and inside of the planes, and then it had like a real plane outside with the stairs that come down that we got to shoot some scenes in that plane too. So, oh, actually we took our poster photos in that plane too. But yeah, it was a really nice set.
But was that a step up for you then of just the level of set that you were on? Because it does look, I think as a viewer, you can, this feels different. This is clearly not just there's a bit of cardboard. Looks so good.
Vigloo treated us really well on set locations in the art department ventures. And I'd say so much so that I remember when they were coming out with the schedule, they were like telling Hannah and me, he's really being like, you cannot this date, like you cannot like move anything around. We have to make sure we shoot everything, like whatever date this was. It was like the 13th or something. And lo and behold, when you get to set, it's like, oh, now I know why you shouldn't miss this one. Probably a pretty penny. So kudos to Vigloo. You guys really did a great job at putting all the resources together for such a cool prospect.
Um, so sets look great, but obviously I don't know if it was like an exciting bit. I mean, you get to dress up as a pilot and you get to wear a beautiful cabin crew costume. Um, Hannah, what was the cabin crew costume like? I quite like the colours. It's kind of lilac, wasn't it? Which I thought was a bit different. Do you
Yes.
get any
They
input, or of like what suited you as a colour, or was it just this is what everyone's wearing?
No, I didn't get any input, but I really liked the color scheme that they went for. It was like purple, and I think my necktie had like some yellow in it too. But I actually never wear purple ever. So I was like, okay, this is different, but I really liked the uniform. It was cute. The only thing was like tucking that shirt in every day without having lumps in it was like such a pain. I remember our wonderful scripty would literally run up every scene and just start like shoving the shirt into my skirt because it would always get like lumpy and pop out. Those uniforms were a little bit of a challenge to wear, but they were super cute, and I think they ended up looking pretty good on camera. So,
They look
yes.
really good. And then, I mean, obviously, you got to wear a pilot's hat and look very spiffing in your uniform. I mean, is that a bit of a dream come true? And did you get to keep any of it?
Yeah, I did not get to keep any of it, but you better believe it was a really fun experience. And then also just randomly putting it on other people and then seeing their face light up. That was that was a lot of fun. So it was like the sisterhood of the traveling pilot hat. So it made its way around. It flew around the set. It was a lot of hot days though. I'll say that the that pilot suit's no joke. So that plane did not have any AC. It was so hot that day. And when we had to do the poster, we're trying to like keep our uniform and our look together. Hannah's right about this shirt that she had to just keep, tucking down that just refused. And I'm just trying to make sure that I'm in one piece. So there was a lot of difficulties, but it was totally worth it. So much fun.
How does it compare to the billionaire suit? Because I know some actors have said with the billionaire suit, they've got the waistcoat, so there's another layer which makes it even hotter. Is a pilot suit slightly better?
I personally think I'd rather have the suit because the hat really just adds another layer as well. Like I remember just feeling like one just strange rip as I'm trying to do a scene and it's like approaching my eye and I'm trying to get my line out before it hits and it's gonna sting and it's a whole ordeal. Yeah. So I think there's different challenges, but uh, the pilot hat's definitely like when you're flying blind, especially if it starts like sinking because all the hairspray and then you can't see what your scene partner's doing. Um, yeah, there's a couple times where I was having some wardrobe issues, but we got through it.
Well, can I say thank you for battling through? Because it looks very good on screen. And I don't remember ever thinking, oh dear, the pilot hat's fallen over his eyes. So
Can't,
it's all good.
and Nevaeh, I promise I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you like that.
I think the funniest thing was when like we would kiss and like the hat would just be like hitting my forehead. It was just like so in the way. I was just like trying to go around it. Like it was so funny.
I feel like a mother bird. It was like just like pecking. And I just like remember like hitting me in the forehead, being like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
So I have to ask, what was the scene then that made you laugh most during the filming?
I think one scene that was Tate is hilarious, I must say. His character and his acting was like constantly cracking me up. I think one of the scenes that I don't know if it was necessarily funny or I was just laughing because I was so grossed out was when he threw up on me. And because I remember he had to like sip this like oatmeal, milk, everything mixed from crafty concoction. And it smelled so bad. And he had to put it in his mouth and then like spit it. This is so disgusting. Spit it all over me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh. And then I had to wear that shirt for the next few scenes. I just remember I kept gagging on set. Like I was like just like constantly because we're like trying to film and it literally had that all over my shirt and it was really gross. But that scene was so funny just because I remember he had to put it in his mouth and he's like just sitting there trying to like keep it, but it was disgusting. I was definitely really holding in my laughter that day.
I'm not beating that day. I remember just Tate coming in too because he didn't have the greatest day either. I remember he hadn't gotten in a car accident, I think, and he's just not happy. And of course, like he puts a smile on his face and just proceeds to throw up at Hannah for the rest of it. But here at Blink Airlines, we have a lot of fun. So
And then for both of you as well, what was the most rewarding or fulfilling scene? I guess the one where you're like, I nailed that. That one felt really good.
I think the first thing that comes to my mind is we did this scene in the parking garage. And I remember during this whole shoot, me and Kiki were like running on very low energy, very low sleep. Like we were both working back to back, really exhausted, and we're very much like matching the energy. I was so grateful that he was like on the same page as me because I was like struggling. I was super tired and trying to just get through and like really lock in. And we were both on the same page. And I remember this one day we came in and I think it was the first scene of the day. We were in the parking garage and it's like our big breakup fight scene or I like, turn around and yeah, it's this whole thing. And I remember we go in, we're both like, let's run the lines. We're running the lines. Like we keep messing up. We're like, oh my gosh, we need to get through this. Like we can't disappoint G and Vigloo. Like we need this to be good. We go and they're like, action, first take. I turn around, tears just start falling out of my face. And like, I remember we were just like screaming back and forth at each other. It felt so good. And like, I remember the first take, I was like, wow, we got through that. And before that, when we were running it, we weren't getting through it in the best way that I knew we could have, like the potential this scene had.
I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that. I'm so glad that you brought that up. Thank you for bringing that memory up because I wouldn't have thought about that. Yeah, that day we weren't getting through a single take without like looking down at our lines and just like flubbing up. And again, like It's the first shot of the day. I think we don't want to upset Chi. She's been nothing but you know a
Incredible.
lifesaver and incredible. So we're like against the wall. Our backs are against the wall, and sure enough, right when you hear action, Anna turns around, and there it is, like full tears, perfect lines delivered. Hair needs to be where it is. Her shirt's perfectly tucked in. No issues on the wardrobe.
Oh,
Perfect. So that's a great one. And that's in the second scene, just to add to that. There's a scene where we have to go and shoot in a hotel kind of courtyard. And the sun's going down pretty quick. It's a picnic scene. Hannah, I don't know if you remember this one. And I'm just casually kind of arranged the spread for a lovely date, and we have to kind of nail this really romantic scene pretty quick. And we're doing it in front of all these passerbys, all these hotel guests, and construction workers and staff, and I'm proposing, I think, my love to her for the 13th time that day. It feels like, and sure, lo and behold, I feel like we did a great job with it. So there's been a lot of times where I feel like the pressure never got to us. We did our best, especially when there was really expensive sets, especially when there's a lot of people around that normally wouldn't be, especially if there was really intimate moments. Hannah always made me feel so incredibly comfortable that she's such a treat to have on set that I wouldn't have wanted to do this one with anyone else.
oh, you too. No, we had like seriously such the best time, and like all of our scenes just felt so real and like raw and great when we were calling action. Even before, if we weren't like fully in it, we'd go for it, and it was like we just like fully committed, and they just felt so great. Like I was so happy with the way we finished each scene, especially seeing G's reaction. Like she just really made us feel better about everything.
Yeah, same page. It was always Hannah would just like look over to me and I'd look over to her. And I feel like we both knew what each other needed at that time. And it'd be like, all right, we'll deliver it. So she gave me everything that I could ask for. And I'm just glad that I could try to hold up my own on my end.
I just think you're both really, really good in it. I think it's probably the best performances I've seen both of you in it. So I just want to say congratulations because I think it's super.
Thank you, Jen.
I have one thing I'm slightly worried about, okay? Several times I'm not sure who's flying that plane. I'm quite worried about who's flying the plane. It's a very nice makeout session when I think someone should be flying the plane. And there's definitely another moment where you're striding around, but then say you are going to fly the plane. It's like, well, you've not been flying the plane. So my brain has rationalized this, that clearly there was just a co-pilot we never saw who was flying the plane when you were busy with your lady love.
Because I'm sitting on Kiki's lap. There's a whole scene where I'm sitting on his lap while he's flying the plane, and we're just having a whole makeout sesh while he's flying the plane. I'm like, we're gonna die right now. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is so crazy.
I'm that good. Liam Holt does it again.
Yeah, and also you were that good, clearly. This is all about flying, so I thought I'd ask you some questions about flying. You've both flown before. Do you remember your first flight?
I think mine was coming to I was born in Massachusetts, and my dad lived in California and my mom lived in Massachusetts. So I think my first flight was when I was a baby and I flew to California from Massachusetts, I think.
Do you have a favorite airport?
Not LAX. Blink Airlines, of course.
Okay, so on a flight, window seat or aisle, if you have a choice?
Window.
I'm so glad you didn't even give Hannah the psychopath move and bring the middle seat.
Favorite travel snack on a plane?
Maybe like, I mean, you can't go wrong with like some pretzels.
Those M&Ms in the red bag, got little peanut butter inside it. Oh, delicious. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Always useful to tell the internet what snacks you like with a vague hope that someone might then buy you those snacks. I always believe this is a good thing, good information to put out just on the internet. They like
Smart.
these.
Smart. Love Reese's.
Yeah, I'm always thinking, you see. Okay, right, so you don't have to be on the plane for this, but if you have to watch a movie, would it be Airplane or Snakes on a Plane?
Probably comedy, maybe. Because I would try to watch something that I can fall asleep to.
I'd have to see Airplane for the first time, but Snakes on a Plane is a classic. I remember sneaking into a theater in that one. I think I was too young to watch that.
And then the final question is, okay, we've talked about being on planes. Is something like a parachute jump or something like that something that's ever appealed to either of you?
I'll go skydiving. I'll go on a parachute jump or something. I haven't yet, but I'm down for like any of that. Like first time for everything.
You know what? I've never had an interest to do it, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't. I would jump out of a plane. If someone was like, "You want?" and like a group of people are down, and it just lined up that way, I'd go.
It's interesting, isn't it? Is also I know some people, it's like it's a real passion. It's like I really want to do that. So
I'm sitting there like, yeah, you know what? But then again, I love running marathons, and people are like, what the hell are you doing?" So, to each his own.
yeah. So finally, just going back to obviously Mile High on Cloud Nine. What are your hopes that people take away from watching it? Kind of what's your hope? What do you want people to feel?
One, I hope they love me and Kiki as a duo, which I know they will because we're the best and we have to work together again because it was so much fun and I really, really loved it. And two, I hope they like the story. It's very push and pull, and I think there's a lot of relatable aspects to it with the bullying and the triggers and the love and all of that. So I hope they can find a piece of it to relate to. I definitely think there's a lot of things you can relate to in it. Yeah, I just hope they love it because I'm proud of it. I think it was really cute.
Yeah, I'm really proud of this one. I think a big takeaway of the storyline is that it's never too late. Don't give up on what you love. Um, you know, regardless of time, things can change. I think time is a pretty big aspect because when you're on a flight, a lot of time can traverse, and you can lose a lot of your years up in the air. So make sure that when you are on the ground, that you're using the most of them.
Oh, thank you so much, both of you. You're absolute superstars. Yes, so everyone needs to go and watch this if they have not watched it already. So you'll need to go to Vigloo and watch Mile High on Cloud Nine. Congratulations on a really great project.
Thank you, Jen, and congrats again on your recent successes and